Hello, welcome to SPL Mixing. My name is Daniel Jason Booth. Today we're going to look at two new plugins from Sonible. One is called True Level and the other is called True Balance. Let's dive in. Now, as you can see, I am working on the beta version, so there are a few little things that will change between this and the final release. What I've done is I've pulled up an old mix, something that I did before I got my nice new speakers. What I'll do is I'll play a little bit for you.
You're now rocking with the Funky Dogs Brass Band.
It's the place to be.
The very best brass band on the bandstand.
It's the place to be.
You're now rocking with the Funky Dogs Brass Band.
It's the place to be.
The funkiest brass band on the bandstand.
It's the place to be.
When the drums start hitting and the club gets kicking, y'all.
It's the place to be.
When the beat is bumping and the bass is thumping, y'all.
It's the place to be.
Here are the two new plugins that are coming out today. Now, you might have seen True Level before in a different format. So Smart Limit, what they did was they took this section out, and what we've got now is just a bigger version of that, which is cool. It was a much requested plugin because I guess people like to use different limiters. So let's have a look at the two together and see what sort of information they can tell us.
You're now rocking with the Funky Dogs Brass Band.
It's the place to be.
The very best brass band on the bandstand.
It's the place to be.
You're now rocking with the Funky Dogs Brass Band.
It's the place to be.
The funkiest brass band on the bandstand.
It's the place to be.
When the drums start hitting and the club gets kicking, y'all.
It's the place to be.
When the beat is bumping and the bass is thumping, y'all.
It's the place to be.
Yeah, and when the bodies are shaking cause the horns are cranking, y'all.
It's the place to be.
It's cause there ain't no party like a Funky Dogs party, y'all.
It's the place to be.
It's the place to be. It's the place to be. We gon' rock this party like New Orleans. It's the place to be. It's the place to be. We gon' rock this party like New Orleans. It's the place to be.
This is quite a dynamic song. It's a difficult song to mix because it is a live performance. Okay, so it's telling us that we're not quite there yet. Basically what we're going to do is we're going to fit into a small window here. But it is a dynamic song, so I'm not too concerned with that. It's just a matter of increasing the gain on this limiter.
Place to be.
When the vibe is chillin' cause the people are illin', y'all.
It's the place to be.
And when you got that good vibe and you got that good feeling, y'all.
It's the place to be.
It's cause there ain't no party like a Funky Dogs party, y'all.
It's the place to be.
It's the place to be. It's the place to be. We gon' rock this party like New Orleans. It's the place to be. It's the place to be. We gon' rock this party like New Orleans. It's the place to be. It's the place to be. We gon' rock.
We can see here in the green that we're hitting the selected target, which is the Spotify target of -14. It's useful information to have a look at, especially if you're a mastering engineer. For mixing, it's just good to look occasionally. They also include these different presets, which we've become accustomed to seeing from Sonible. And you can also add your own by loading them into here and then selecting that as the target reference. So that's True Level. There's not a lot to add to that, but it's great that they've separated it out from Smart Limit. Now, True Balance reminds me a lot of tonal balance control, but it is different. And it is different because it also comes with these wideness indicators for the low, mid, and highs, as well as correlation meters for the low, mid, and highs. So those of you who are not familiar with correlation meters, basically what that means is when the left and the right channels are correlated, it basically means that we're listening to mono information. Once they start to disagree, once there are differences between the two, there's decorrelation. And so that's how we get stereo. But what we don't want is particularly our low-end information to become decorrelated. The lower information has a greater influence on the overall correlation. And so what this plugin does is it enables you to see basically how mono your low-end information is. Anything under 200 hertz, you can look at that and have a look at the correlation. Let's play it, and you can see on the bottom there what it's doing.
This party like New Orleans. It's the place to be. It's the place to be. We gon'
So you can see it's spending a lot of its time over here. It's not particularly wide, which is what we want in this case or in any case really. It's always a safe bet to have the low end information basically mono. Mono is still relevant and it's still relevant to check. We've also got the combined correlation over here and the combined width. Let's have a look at what these figures tell us. In a nutshell, anything over 0 is going to be okay. Once you start heading down towards there, you're actually going to start cancelling out frequencies that are happening in both speakers. We've also got information on the loudness targets. Now I've selected the funk preset here, and what we can do is we can reference this and it'll tell us what we need to do. But we can also see from these little graphs, it gives us a range, which is the same as this range, but it's kind of averaged out. And so what you'll see is that tonally speaking in the mid-range, for example, let me play it. We're quite a lot below that range. So we're here and we want to maybe try and aim for there. We've gone over in the top end and the bass is okay. But of course, once we start changing these two, then we'll probably have to come back and have a look at what's happening in the bass. So how do we go about this? We could go about it a few different ways. We could basically throw an EQ on the mix and just do it that way. It just depends on the issue and what the best way is to solve it. I'm just going to do it just for demonstration purposes. If you're a mastering engineer, this is obviously how you would approach it. But if you're in the mixing stage, the idea is that you've got the ability to go in and adjust instruments that contain these frequencies and adjust them back into this window. Let me go back to the start and let's play through it and we'll just see what sort of balances it shows us.
You're now rocking with the Funky Dogs Brass Band.
It's the place to be.
The very best brass band on the bandstand.
It's the place to be.
You're now rocking with the Funky Dogs Brass Band.
It's the place to be.
The funkiest brass band on the bandstand.
It's the place to be.
When the drums start hitting and the club gets kicking, y'all.
It's the place to be.
When the beat is bumping and the bass is thumping, y'all.
It's the place to be.
Yeah, and when the bodies are shaking cause the horns are cranking, y'all.
It's the place to be.
It's cause there ain't no party like a Funky Dogs party, y'all.
It's the place to be.
It's the place to be. It's the place to be. We gon' rock this party like New Orleans. It's the place to be. It's the place to be. We gon' rock this party like New Orleans. It's the place to be. It's the place to be. We gon' rock this party like New Orleans. It's the place to be. It's the place to be. We gon' rock this party like New Orleans. And when the people start dancing to the Funky Dogs rhythm, y'all.
It's the place to be.
When the vibe is chillin' cause the people are illin', y'all.
It's the place to be.
And when you got that good vibe and you got that good feeling, y'all.
It's the place to be.
It's cause there ain't no party like a Funky Dogs party, y'all.
It's the place to be.
It's the place to be. It's the place to be. We gon' rock this party like New Orleans. It's the place to be. It's the place to be. We gon' rock this party like New Orleans. It's the place to be. It's the place to be. We gon' rock this party like New Orleans. It's the place to be. It's the place to be. We gon' rock this party like New Orleans.
Okay, so we can see there that we've gone out of balance as soon as that horn section comes in. So my thinking is that overall we've got a few nice changes that have improved the overall balance. But what we could do is I'll find my horn bus and what we'll do is we'll add in some EQ to that and see if adding some mid-range helps it. Obviously you've got to use this as a guide, but for the most part, I'm happy with the correlation, the width and all that sort of stuff. So now it's just a matter of getting the balance. these sections green, it's telling us that we're doing a pretty good job of getting it within that zone. Is it sounding better? Let's A/B it and have a listen. So I'll take these off. Okay, so we'll bypass both of those.
Party like New Orleans, it's the place to be, it's the place to be. We gon' rock this party like New Orleans, it's the place to be, it's the place to be. We gon' rock this party like New Orleans, it's the place to be, it's the place to be. We gon' rock this party like New Orleans. Tell me.
It's definitely made it feel a lot more fuller. So if you're looking for a way to get into the finishing stages of your mix, this is a great way of doing it. It's going to tell you exactly where to focus, and it gives you, a lot of great information. You've got quite a lot of different presets to work your way through there. As a general indication of tonality, it's definitely helped push it in a direction that has made the mix sound better. I would generally go in and do changes to the instruments themselves rather than EQ the mix bus. It just depends on how much time you've got and how much budget. If you'd like to check these out, I'll leave a link in the description. Try the demo, see what you think. They are on sale for €49 and then they'll go up in price. Definitely worth investing in. A great alternative to tonal balance control, plus all of the other information that it gives you. And let me know what you think. Bonus points for anyone who can tell me what theme they've used in that brass line towards the end there. Thank you for watching and happy mixing.